What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP, and this is my co-host, Josh.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast. What's going on, guys? It's another week, man. Another day, actually, and a lot of funny things happening in certain parts of Hollywood. Look, we already know as of right now, as of today, DC, Warner Brothers, they are the biggest drama, right as of Hollywood's history, is like the biggest drama makers, and it just seems to not be slowing down. And it's not just because of executives, heads of DC, but because of the people at the bottom who suffered from this, who I believe deserve hella compensation, and that's Ben Affleck coming to the Hollywood Reporter to go ahead and basically speak his part of the whole Justice League fiasco. He went ahead and spoke about the Snyder fans, and I'm gonna stand that out, Josh, just only because when I listen to other people's commentary about all this stuff, and it always seems every single bodies seems to leave out the Snyder verse, the Zack Snyder's Justice League part of this article. They'll read the Justice League part. They'll read I'm kind of jumping the gun, but speaking of Gunn, James Gunn, he talks about directing for him, and him saying basically saying no when James Gunn said something different a few months ago. So I just want to read the whole, at least that whole bit portion when it comes to superhero movies and all that from Ben Affleck that he told to the Hollywood Reporter, just to give you guys out there a little bit of context. And if you haven't read the whole article, Josh, here you go.
No, I've only seen bits and pieces of it.
You seen the bits and pieces? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but wait, before you even think about starting, let's hear a word from our sponsor real quick, Zippy Stream.
today's episode is sponsored by Zippy Stream. If you are wondering how we make money to run our podcast, it's all because of this innovative platform. Here at FilmBros Podcast, we absolutely love using Zippy Stream. It's the easiest way to convert listeners into an email list, but best of all, they find us sponsorship so we can keep making money doing what we love.
Suppose you're also a podcaster thinking about starting one. Zippy Stream will help you find and manage a relationship with brands that are relevant to your audience. If you want to learn more, contact us as soon as possible. Everyone that signs up this month will get to claim £10 as a joining bonus, which is around $12 or something like that.
Just reach out to us by email or social media DMs, and I'll put you in touch with the guys at Zippy Stream right away. Now back to the pod. He goes off after speaking about him launching his company with Matt Damon. They asked him about what filmmaking is like for superhero movies and for productions on his own. So he basically said, as opposed to the Justice League experience, the fact that those stories became somewhat repetitive to me and less interesting. Yeah, I did finally figure out how to play the character Batman, and I nailed it in The Flash for the 5 minutes I'm in there. It's really great. A lot of it's just tone. You've got to figure out what's your version of the person, who is the guy that fits what you can do. I tried to fit myself into Batman, and by the way, I like a lot of stuff we did, especially in the first one, which was Batman versus Superman. So let's go ahead and let's just talk about this paragraph of the article real quick. So, the Justice League experience. We all know what happened. Zack Snyder finished principal photography. He basically filmed the whole movie. There wasn't really much left. The tragedy happened with his daughter, and he had to leave. Yeah. And Warner Brothers seen that as an opportunity to change the movie into what they wanted it to be. And so they swooped in with Josh Whedon and
the devil himself.
Yeah, and basically butchered it. So the interviewer basically said, but not Justice League. What went wrong there? Justice League, you could teach a seminar on all the reasons why this is how not to do it, ranging from production to bad decisions to horrible personal tragedy, and just ending with the most monstrous taste in my mouth. The genius and the silver lining is that Zack Snyder eventually went to AT&T and was like, look, I can get your 4 hours of content, and it's principally just all the slow motion that he shot in black and white. And one day of shooting, with me and him. He was like, "Do you want to come shoot in my backyard?" I was like, "I think there are unions, Zach. I think we have to make a deal." But I went and did it, and now Zack Snyder's Justice League is my highest rated movie on IMDb. Silver lining. W, of course. Now, it would leave a bad taste in one's mouth because, I mean, from what we heard, Josh Whedon called them back to Justice League to do the reshoots. They were all in front of a green screen. Just got in the suit, but at that time, Ben had nothing to do with it. I don't know if it's gonna say in any of the upcoming quotes that we're gonna read off in a minute here, but he basically said that it was between drinking or jumping out of a window. Like, that's how bad that experience was. And you can tell in the movie, in the Justice League movie, that they try to fix him up. He was bigger. He wasn't in Batman shape. But one thing I will say, he killed it as Batman in Zack Snyder's Justice League. He killed it in Batman versus Superman. But in my opinion, the best portrayal to date on how he portrayed Batman. But I did like the arc and what happens to him in Zack Snyder's Justice League because it gives you that hope that what do you call it, that we've been I guess other people were asking for, but just too impatient to get, I guess.
Oh man, now that we're just airing it all out, it seems a little odd because, yeah, it's been hell. That whole production was held, obviously, for Justice League. Ray Fisher, he spoke about it way before Affleck did. I know Gal Gadot probably said a few things, and I don't even know if Henry Cavill comment on it himself.
He just stood quiet. He just wanted to play Superman. Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't think he said anything about it.
Gal Gadot only wanted to play Wonder Woman. That's why she didn't say anything. She just wanted to keep the role. See, I think every single one of these.
I think she only came out to say something about him after the fact, and then with like Ezra, about the Ezra Miller scene. About the Ezra Miller scene with the whole where he lands on her in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the only thing I can imagine her coming out to say, because I think she did. But it's interesting that all this stuff is now coming to light,
Yeah. I think at this point, like I said, everybody deserves a lawsuit with this company, in my opinion. Henry Cavill being promised to come back, doesn't come back. Gal Gadot having to keep quiet for everything. Ben Affleck being so traumatized from being on a movie set that he just says no altogether. Ray Fisher being blackballed by Hollywood because an executive lied on an investigation. Ezra Miller, who was, we heard report, like, don't get me wrong, if he's guilty for whatever he's guilty for, I'm 100% for it. But here's the thing: during Zack Snyder's the shooting of Zack Snyder's Justice League or Justice League, or I'd say, he was already showing signs of cracking underneath the surface. It was told by a bunch of people when he was prepping to film The Flash, same thing. And it just seemed during The Flash that he was having these issues too, and they just pumped out a movie because they were like, hey, you're under contract. Instead of taking a pause, saying that he needs to go find help, it wasn't until shit hit the fan that everybody was pointing fingers at him. So, like I said, I feel like everybody has a case. I just think Warner Brothers just did him dirty for like that good chunk of time.
Yeah. I mean, well, okay, because I know it sounds like the whole production was hell, and I know people want to be like, don't blame Joss Whedon and stuff, but no, he not only did he step in to a movie that was pretty much not his, he reshot and then pumped out garbage. The garbage that Hamada himself wanted. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. I can't even blame Josh Whedon I can't blame him for the work that he put into the film, because that's what he was paid to do. You're a paid director. You're paid to do this. It's the way he went about it. The way where he was like, I know what I'm doing. Don't tell me what to do. I can minimize your role. I can expand it in this reshoots. I could do whatever I want. Like, he came in with his nuts heavy and was like, what the fuck? It's like that. That's not the way that you do it, especially when you have a director like Zack Snyder where people just say good things. They love working with him. He's one of the best passionate directors. And then having to flip the coin over on your time that you basically said, hey, we're done shooting, get called back, and now you got to deal with this asshole. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure the change was a big hard hitter for them as well.
I'm sure. What do you call it? I mean, you finish the movie, you're ready for it to come out. You hear about Zach. You know, I'm assuming they were close friends and stuff. You know, working with him for that long, and then, you know, he goes, and now you're called back by this dude who thinks he knows all. He cuts Ray Fisher out. Probably said some very racist things to him. Said he couldn't act. So that's when he started calling him out, and then Hamada was like, "Shut that shit down." And then, you know, the movie happens. It's not good. The movie's so bad.
I can only imagine how he, like, you know, showed his true colors. Like, did like Ben Affleck go to Zack Snyder and was like, "Hey Zack, I got a couple things about the script," and Zack was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm open to this." And then here he is brought back for Josh Whedon. He probably went to Josh Whedon the same way. "Hey, I got a couple things about the script." "Shut up, bitch. Go record your lines." That's probably how he was, and that's probably how they find out. I'm just speculating. I'm just joking, but I'm just speculating. So the interviewer responds to what he basically said. Zack Snyder Justice League was his biggest his highest rated on IMDb. So he asked, "Isn't that because Zack Snyder's fans are so intense online?" Now this is the part that everybody seems to skip, and Ben Affleck backs it up from what it sounds like 100%. So this is what he says: "Say what you want, it's my highest rated career movie. I've never had one that went from nadir to pinnacle. Retroactively, it's a hit. All of a sudden, I was getting congratulated for the bomb I'm in. But I was going to direct the Batman, and Justice League made me go, I'm out. I never wanted to do this again. I'm not suited. That was the worst experience I've ever seen in business, which is full of some shitty experiences. It broke my heart. There was an idea of someone, Josh Whedon, coming in like, I'll rescue you, and we'll do 60 days of shooting, and I'll write the whole thing around what you have, and I got the secret. And it wasn't the secret. That was hard. And I started to drink too much. I was back at the hotel in London. It was either that or jump out the window. And I just thought, this isn't the life I want. My kids aren't here. I'm miserable. You want to go to work and find something interesting to hang on to rather than just wearing a rubber suit. And most of it, you're just standing against the computer screen going, if this nuclear waste gets loose, well, that's fine. I don't condescend to that or put it down, but I got to a point where I found it creatively not satisfying. Also, just you're sweaty and exhausted, and I thought, I don't want to participate in this in any way, and I don't want to squander any more of my life, of which I have limited amount.
Damn.
Yeah. And then that's a kind of a big one. Let's kind of dissect that. Josh Whedon coming in saying, I got the secret. I got the sauce. I know what I'm doing. It being the worst experience he's ever had, to the point where he does not want to come back to superhero films. Okay? I mean, the way he says it is hurtful. Obviously, it's kind of like what I told you when Yahel Mateen II said that playing in a superhero movie is basically clown work. You know what I mean? He basically said you're just in a rubber suit, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I get it. You know, he got such a bad taste in his mouth. He's not worried about it. You know what I mean? Like, he's just, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be a dick about making these movies. It's just that they're so simple to make. It's kind of frustrating for him creatively. You know what I mean? That I think you can kind of see that superhero movies have become a little generic as of lately.
Well, yeah. I can talk about that forever, but oh man, that quote is so. It does sound harsh for sure. I mean, we all knew. From the jump, way back when, when I can recall to the dark times that was Justice League being broken down. Like I told you before, Joss Whedon, when he went in to direct Age of Ultron way before in 2014.
Yeah.
What do you call it? He said, I don't remember the quote for verbatim, but he said the headline was, Joss Whedon says he doesn't want to do superhero movies anymore. because he can't focus on one thing. You know, it's not one character, it's 6 people, and you know, you have to make it flow.
Yeah.
And so when I heard he was doing Justice League, I was like, okay, but he said in this article that he didn't want to do them no more. So like, why is he taking the thing?
Changed his mind real quick.
Maybe money talks, whatever, but basically he comes in, butchers the movie up, walks out like nothing happened. I mean, I don't know. Joss Whedon is he's bad. He's not a good person. Everyone in Hollywood says he's kind of a shit person. So I mean, no real problem here about it. But yeah, no. If it's enough to make Ben Affleck really like angry about it, because I mean, he loves films. He's ever since him and Matt Damon, you know, way back when, like Good Will Hunting, or like way back when, they've always been like partners like that. So yeah. And I think they said that it was that a while ago that Matt Damon was the one that told him not to do Batman no more. So they actually are like best friends.
Yeah, he told him that. I think it was on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon or something. When he was saying that he was gonna hang it up, I think he said he talked to Matt Damon, basically let him know how frustrating it was with, you know, the whole. At the time, he wasn't talking about Justice League. He was just speaking in generalities because he didn't want to, you know, diminish the movie.
I'm pretty sure he was talking about like the Batman, because I mean, he was gonna.
He did touch on the Batman, but it was more. He hinted at the experience, but he never broke it down like this ever. So
he was probably holding out on a job.
Yeah. So it's something he's been filming for a while. So it kind of sucks to hear that, because I was kind of holding out hope that he was gonna direct a Batman movie, or, you know, at least be the Batman one more time. Hearing that it's probably not 100% accurate, but when he says, "Oh, when I'm in the Flash for 5 minutes" or something, like, it seemed like he's just like, "Oh, like, I just needed to do this part and that's it." But then there was rumors saying that he was willing to leave it at a cliffhanger at the end of the Flash and come back as Batman at one point. So maybe he's open to it, but if he gets that creativity like how Zack Snyder allowed him to, it's just, I don't know. But he says in the next quote, because he was basically asked, so if DC came to you now and said, do you want to direct something? He basically said, I would not direct something for the Gunn DC. Absolutely not. Listen to that word. Absolutely not. I have nothing against James Gunn. Nice guy. Sure, he's going to do a great job. I just wouldn't want to go in and direct in the way they're doing that. I'm not interested in that.
Well, I mean, well, there you go.
Now, a little bit ago, it broke because, you know, James Gunn tweeting. He's a Twitter tweeter. Got the Twitter fingers going on.
Doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.
Does not know when to shut the fuck up.
What did he say?
He never said anything about this article.
Really?
No, he has not said anything, but he did put out on Twitter way back when, saying that he met with Ben Affleck, that they are finding the right project for him to direct. Like, he lied. He lied. Because, and the worst part is that he's on Twitter all the time. He even, yesterday, a little bit of a spoiler, kind of jumping. Yesterday, a spoiler came out for Shazam 2. If you guys haven't seen Shazam, I'm gonna say the little bit right now. I'm sorry, but at the very end, I guess there's a post-credit scene that has Harcourt in there. Not a big spoiler, but she's in there, and from what we hear, she's supposed to be recruiting somebody for the JSA, which is Shazam, obviously. And he basically went on Twitter and said, the only DC movie I've ever cast my wife in was The Suicide Squad. I had nothing to do with the casting of any other movie. Anything else was shot a year or so ago while I was deep in Volume 3. But I know some of you are deeply in need of reasons to hate. So he has time to go ahead and talk about his wife, but does not have time to talk about the fact that Ben Affleck basically said absolutely not to coming back to making any kind of DC film with you, but you went ahead and Twittered tweeted that you guys were gonna find a project. It's cap, bro.
That's the tough thing because, okay, the Snyder fans, whatever you want to call them, they'll look for any piece of like that touch again. You know what I mean? Whether it's Ben Affleck directing or, you know, the Justice League 2. Hopefully that happens if the cards are right. But like, we're willing to work with what we got, and if a Ben Affleck directed movie was gonna be it, then James Gunn already has a hit because we want to see Ben Affleck direct a Batman movie or something. You know what I mean? He said that. He did say. I remember James Gunn tweeting that. I read it. I don't follow him, but it was everywhere. James Gunn tweets, Ben Affleck may direct so and so. We thought, or you thought it was gonna be Brave and the Bold. Me, I was kind of like, I don't know if we touch Batman. You know what I mean? But now he says absolutely not, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
It's fair.
That sounds fair. And then I think I did see a tweet, but he was replying to someone else who said that he didn't lie or something like that. I don't know if it came up or not. I'm not gonna try and find it right now, but he basically lied. If Ben Affleck is confirming it to the world, then okay. But if he dodges the question, like, you know how people in Hollywood usually do, what do you call it? Then you're kind of like, oh, he might direct it. But no, he flat out said no.
He said absolutely
not. Not anything under James Gunn's thing. And this is kind of reinforcing what we were talking about a few pods ago, where I was like, if James Gunn is writing everything, he needs directors and he needs people to write things that aren't his things. So he can't keep writing this stuff and expecting someone to direct it for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think this is just one of those things. It's all gonna come like this.
Damn. So you think he probably saw a script and was like, "A la basura," tossed it?
Pretty much. If it's
for those that don't speak Spanish, that said in the trash.
In the trash. And then basically what I think when he says nothing in the James Gunn verse, let him do an Elseworlds.
If he says absolutely not to anything DC, it sounds like he's probably just gonna avoid it altogether.
Under Gunn's DC.
Oh, he was very specific about that too, huh?
He said absolutely not anything under James Gunn DC, and that's what I mean. You have James Gunn who's overseeing every little detail. He's not Kevin Feige, but he needs a roadmap. And if it's easier to hand out maps to tour guides, then it's different. You know what I mean?
Damn, that analogy go hard. Watch out. Pretty good.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get you.
And so, Ben Affleck isn't going to want to touch that. He's going to want to write it. The creative shit that he was talking about, he's going to want to write, direct, and so on and so forth. He's not going to want to pick up someone else's thing.
No, it's true. And he wants that creativity. And, I mean, from what I'm hearing, Air is another smash hit from him. So if he made a production company and he wants to focus on his movie where he can be creative, I say let him work, because this man is an Oscar winner. He's a great director. He's a great actor. Like I said, I'd love to see him again as Batman. And we will see him again in The Flash.
See him in The Flash.
But, I mean, if that's the last time we get to see, I will be the first one I will be rewatching that movie just for him. I think if I walk out hating The Flash, I just go back to watch it for Ben Affleck's appearance. So, we'll see. But let's go to, like I said, we kind of jumped the gun, but I'm not trying to, no pun intended, but him basically coming out saying that, and this is crazy, because this is where, like, you know, I started noticing that homeboy likes to choose his words correctly. So, and I just wanted to talk about this tweet because it's the most recent, but I just want to basically he says, the only DC movie I ever cast my wife in was The Suicide Squad. True. I had nothing to do with the casting in any other movie. Also true. But he put her in Peacemaker, which isn't a movie. So he did it in Suicide Squad. He did it in Peacemaker. She was in both shows. He said, like I said, he picks and chooses. He said movie. So, but he even said that he's been working with DC 6 months prior to David Zaslav. Anything else was shot a year ago or so while I was deep in Volume 3. A year ago or so. That's most definitely not true because David F. Sandberg even went to Twitter and said that he was supposed to have members of the JSA showing up. But at the last minute, because the movie didn't do so well, they scrapped it. So who put Harcourt in there? Who's been making her a thing? Safran and Gunn.
Yeah. There's no way. What do you call it? He has to have some say to an extent. There's no way she shows up one time in the Suicide Squad movie, like released in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
We knew Shazam 2 was coming out this year since 2021 because they greenlit it and then they pushed it back 2022. So he's kind of bullshitting the timeline a little bit because all that sounds like it adds up. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So of course, there's no way that he's capping. There's no way he had a say. There's no way they're banking this hard on this character. You know what I mean?
No, she's an unknown. This character was literally made just for his wife. Okay? His wife has not played anything else. Now, I heard this and I was like, no. She has to have some kind of acting chops. Bro, you look her up. No acting, nowhere. Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and Black Adam, obviously, and whatever other movie she makes a cameo in. So that says a lot. Now, I don't think people would. Obviously, it already looks bad, especially because he's not even rebooting the whole thing. He's keeping the Suicide Squad. He's keeping Peacemaker. He's keeping Waller. He's cherry picking what he wants.
Yeah.
Keeping his wife. Look, man. You could say this all day on Twitter, but actions speak louder than words. I'll tell you that much. And those actions clearly say you out here doing extra shit. Now, also, Peter Safran is also a director who likes to put his wife in movies because not as big because she's not as prominent. She's more like those little characters in the background on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess you can kind of be like, I guess it's okay. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure you think he's BSing. I'm pretty sure. I don't got to tell you nothing.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously it sounds like he's bullshitting. There's, like I said, there's no way. The movie came out 2021. The Suicide Squad, right? I'm not tripping about that. He says a year or so prior, while he was knee deep in Guardians 3. But you weren't knee deep enough to start writing a Superman script 6 months prior to your job, so on and so forth. The timeline, it doesn't make much sense if you really look at it. I'm not going to map it out for you. I'm just saying it sounds funny. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, she was in Peacemaker. God, Peacemaker. And then Black Adam. Who put her on Black Adam? You know what I mean? That movie was going through hella changes before it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then they pushed Shazam
All
back.
these movies had hella changes before it came out.
They pushed Shazam back to probably put her in it. And then they pushed Aquaman back, and I'm pretty sure she'll be in that bitch. And then I hope she doesn't show up in The Flash, but she might show up in The Flash.
Damn, man.
If this is what I mean. This doesn't sound right because not now are you not only casting your wife in things that people don't want. You know what I mean? What's the word? Nepotism, right?
Yeah.
Not just that, but now he hired himself for Superman, wrote it, and now directing it. He needs to start doing other things than hiring himself and securing his wife's job. Because right now it just looks like the James Gunn fest. You know what I mean?
And kind of weird that he still hasn't responded to anything that people are asking him about Ben Affleck.
But he can post pictures of his dog and his album covers. I was really low key jealous about that. I'm like, yeah, okay, nice vinyls, but we got bigger shit to talk about.
We got bigger fish to fry, guy. What the hell are you doing? I don't know, man. I feel like everything he does, look, his face just looks so I'm not even trying to be an asshole, but he looks like you can hit his face like that, like a punchable face. Like he has that face. Like he has that face that looks like. Fuck, dude. I don't know, man. That shit.
He has a big forehead.
I don't know, man. That boy look weird.
It's just, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie though. Jennifer Holland is actually not. Is actually pretty fine. So he probably got lucky with that one. But yeah,
I don't know, dude. It isn't sounding right. That doesn't sound accurate at all. He's kind of on the track record of lying. You know what I mean? So he lied about penning Superman 6 months prior. He lied. He probably fired Henry Cavill. I think WB is the perfect place for James Gunn.
dude,
they like to hire, fire, and racist.
It just seems like they tried so hard. They blamed it on the executives and they blamed it on these people and they tried so hard to move away from that. It just seems like it's the same thing, but just on steroids. Because now, I mean, don't get me wrong. Whether you hate Zack Snyder, whether you like him, okay, he did provoke fans sometimes, right? He did put out cryptic stuff. He was on Twitter too. He was doing things like that, but James Gunn is doing it in a way where, in my opinion, it's kind of like he's doing it on purpose. Like he's picking and choosing and cherry picking on purpose, just to, like, in a way, probably in his head, he's probably thinking, "Oh, I'm being like secretive and I'm duping them and I'm doing whatever I have to do in order to to preserve the secrecy of the movies and films that I'm putting out, but also interact with fans and tease." Like I'm pretty sure his mind's in the right place, but I'm telling you, he looks like one of those kids that's just gonna fuck with you just to fuck with you. Like he looks like he ate paste back as a child, and also like would just pick his nose and leave those boogers on your desk. That's what he looks like. That's what he looks like. I don't know. That's personal shots towards him. His filmography is actually pretty decent. I can't even be mad at it. I just think he needs to. If you're gonna address stuff on Twitter, if you're gonna address everything, bro. If you're not gonna do it, don't do it. Why are you even on Twitter like this, bro? Why are you even stirring the pot up like this?
Exactly. Because
if Zaslav was looking at this, if I was Zaslav looking at this, I'd have been like, James, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Give me your goddamn phone. Why the hell are you on Twitter all the fucking time? Aren't you making me a Superman movie?
It's tough because, okay, no matter what he posts, there's always gonna be people nipping at him. You know what I mean? They're gonna tear him apart for everything he says. Am I one of them? I can't deny nor confirm. But like, he posts about his dog. Mm-hmm. Restore the Snyderverse. Yeah. Superman movie. You're bad at this and that. Fart joke here. Fart joke there. Don't touch Superman. Yada yada yada. He says he's directing Superman. Restore the Snyderverse. Bring Henry back. Yada yada yada. It's not so much that he shouldn't be posting, because he should be addressing this stuff with Twitter, or come out at some point and be like, okay, yeah, I know I said this, but it's not working out with Ben Affleck. You obviously saw the quote, like, whatever. And then, let everything else start. It's more so that he just picks and chooses, like you said. Like, I understand protecting your wife, being like, oh yeah, I didn't hire her for this and that. We kind of did, but like, it's just different there. You know what I mean? Other than addressing Ben Affleck, who already said he doesn't want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's kind of a difference, but not really. He just picks and chooses, and then whatever he says is gonna get backlash anyway. Which is funny because the amount of receipts on this man is crazy. People are screenshotting everything he says just to hold it against him and be like, well, you lied about this and that. And I'm like, okay, the dedication is real, but my God.
Yeah. I don't fucking know, guy. I don't know. Like I said, this is, to me, all that little extra I said, it was personal. Business-wise, I really don't have any skeptical or I'm skeptical about what he's about to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, because like I said, leaving the DCU that we left, I'm the top 3 movies in my head are Man of Steel, BVS, Zack Snyder's Justice League, then Wonder Woman, blah blah blah. The rest fall in line. Like to come off that, I'm already skeptical on what he's about to do. So him being online, being on Twitter, stirring the pot up, doing all this and that, whoop-de-wahing, it's making me feel like I don't even want to watch his movies before they even come out. You know what I mean? Like, it's just making me feel like, bro, you're doing too much. If you were silent, humble, let your work speak for you, that'd be something different. You know what I mean? The only thing I can give him applaud for, saying that he has the biggest fucking nuts for it, is that he is directing Superman, writing Superman. He's the guy for that whole movie. So there's nobody, if that shit flops, there's nobody he can point fingers at. If that shit doesn't do numbers, for whatever reason, he can't say, oh, the writers are bad, or oh, the director was bad. No, because, and even on top of that, he's the producer that greenlights it. So he's basically all 3 levels. You know what I'm saying? So if anything fucks up about that movie, he has nobody to blame but himself. If he goes on Twitter and blames somebody else for the fucking movie, that's when I know this fool's a weasel, and I can't fucks with his movies no more.
I'm telling you, bro, I've been on this train since the Suicide Squad, and I know you keep telling me to give it a chance. I'm waiting for Superman, because I don't really care for the Suicide Squad roster, and then like Peacemaker. I can talk about that forever, but Superman is gonna be the definitive one, I think.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see. James Gunn, stop making headlines. Let Shazam do that, because you know what? It's the movie that's out right now, and it underperformed the projected amount that it needed to make. So it started off saying that it was gonna make $90 to $100 million in the beginning. Then it dropped down again to about 60 to 75, and then it dropped down to 35 to 40. Now we're hearing projections are saying that it's making about 30 million and some change. So hopefully the domestic helps it cross that 5 million threshold, and we'll hear that 35 million as a worldwide total. As of right now, here in the U.S., all we got is 30 million in the bank.
Yeah, sorry, it's because you got your words mixed up.
My fault.
Domestic is U.S.
Oh, yeah.
And then worldwide is national is
Yeah.
Everything else.
Everything, yes. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
My fault.
Okay, but
yeah.
30 million. Oh man. And the way the director is talking about this movie and the people in it are talking about this movie, it just, nothing's really helping this movie.
I mean, I'm hearing nothing but good things about this movie.
No, I'm hearing it's good. I'm talking about the director and what he's saying about it.
What is he saying?
You don't have anything like that lined up?
Just about a certain something else. Go ahead and talk about it.
Okay. So I think I seen on Twitter, he basically said that if the way he talked about the movie was that he said if it flops, it doesn't matter. He got paid up front, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then, I mean, he's basically breaking down the movie online now, like giving spoilers and everything. He really don't give a fuck. He even said that he's probably gonna go back to horror after this one. So this is just a whole slew of tweets and like interviews that he's doing. That's why I didn't want to like specifically just put one out there. If you know anything, there's so much. But yeah, he basically is saying that he's just gonna go back to horror.
Like, and that's the tough thing, because as a director, you should stand behind your movie. You know what I mean? Good or bad. You know that Zach, he doesn't. Yeah, I made this movie. Justice League isn't mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Joss Whedon, if he wants to duck and be a bitch about it, we know you made Justice League, dog. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We know you made the Avengers. Just own up to it. Whatever.
I think later on we're gonna hear Sandberg blame Gunn.
Somewhere maybe.
Yeah, I feel like it because all these movies are gonna flop. If this isn't an indication that all these movies are gonna flop, everything that I hear from reviews is that it's a good family movie, good action, but forgettable.
I hear it's better than the first one.
I'm that's what I'm hearing too. I'm hearing that it can jump right into the movie. He even F. Sandberg even went into it and said that he thought that it was supposed to come after the Flash, and he was gonna blame it on the Flash for the whole suit change up from the first one to the next one, because I heard that there's a flashback scene that was in the first movie that they're just gonna put them in their new suits for. There's so much going on with this movie, and I am positive it's all because obviously we know that James Gunn is changing the slate. I'm pretty sure nobody really cares. I'm pretty sure they all think it's pointless and it's going nowhere. So what are they doing? Waiting for streaming.
It's the weird thing because the only person that I see hyping this movie up is Zachary Levi. You know what I mean? And like, it's probably because it's his job.
Sandberg too, a little bit,
but come on, that line about I already got paid up front, that is some shit.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, Levi don't want to lose his job. Kind of like what Rachel Zegler said too. Like when she was asked, I don't know if you've seen that interview. She was basically asked too, what made you want to be in this movie? And she basically said, "Oh, I need a job." Yeah. And I'm like, what is up with these people? Like, if you like you're supposed to promote it. Like, not stuff like that.
That's what I mean. Like, stand behind that shit, bro. Like, she's like Zachary Levi. No matter how you feel about him and his anti-vaxxer comments and stuff, you're like, okay. But he's promoting the fuck out of this movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's standing behind it. Not probably because, yeah, he knows he needs the job. But you don't say that to the press.
No. You don't say those things out loud. I'm telling you. We're going to hear later on that it's Gunn. There's no doubt in my brain because all this is happening because of the whole slate change up. If he would have kept the thing is if he would have not done, like, I get it, a full reboot was needed, but I think it was either between a full reboot or continuing with the same actors and just building upon and just hopefully it gets better. Maybe reshoot a couple key scenes just to change it up and set up. Even if they say, hey, this movie's not really that good because of that change up, he could have easily said, hey, it's just a little switch up. We're going to get it on track. Don't worry. Something like that. Give people hope. But the change up, nobody's been fucking with DC for a while. They've been struggling left and right to even get it off the ground. That it's hard. It's a hard sell. These movies are going to be a hard sell for people.
What's crazy about the Flash and stuff, right? Say they did decide to be, or James was like, you know what? We're just gonna build upon what we got already. He could send the Flash back, change an event, create a flashpoint. That way, the nightmare timeline never happens, or something else happens. Whatever. They change that, and then they just build upon it. But no, he wants to cherry pick, and he wants to do this and that, and pin Superman himself, and it's not working out. And Sandberg wanting to blame the Flash is so stupid. I think it has nothing to do with that movie.
Well, he was supposed to say that that just because of the whole suit switch up, that's it. That the Flash messed with the timeline, and that's why the suits are different, basically. But
I mean, they don't even look bad though.
The first ones?
I like the first ones.
The first ones look bad, bro.
They just look stuffed. That's about it.
I think that's the worst part for me. I like these ones because they look more. You can tell it's their own physique. You know what I mean? Even Zachary Levi got a little bit more jacked for this one because I know he didn't work out for the first one, and all that is padding. Yeah. That's why when I don't know if you remember when The Rock was coming out and he was like, "There's no padding in this suit" or whatever. Like that was supposed to be a dig, but it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I don't know. Warner Brothers need to get it together, and apparently they're gonna be shelling out some money too, because apparently a Nancy Meyers movie that was let go by Netflix that was supposed to be worth $130 million. So had Scarlett Johansson attached to it. Who else was in it? Owen Wilson, Penelope Cruz, Michael Fassbender. It was supposed to be a rom-com, so this is something a little bit more in your lane. Hopefully, a little bit of a different article, just so we can get that bad taste of Gunn out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So Netflix basically let go of this movie. They said it was too expensive, $130 million. Why the fuck is beyond me. It doesn't make any sense, but it sounds like Warner Brothers wants to scoop it up. With what money? Warner Brothers, I ask. I mean, I don't know if they're banking on Shazam to be making any money for them, because it doesn't seem like it.
30 mil. 30 mil, bro. God. What do you call it? What's Nancy Myers?
Nancy Myers? She's like, you don't know who she is? She's like one of like the better.
She sounds familiar.
Yeah, she's been on like around for like the longest. Something's Got to Give, The Holiday, It's Complicated. She made The Parent Trap, What Women Want, Home Again. She's very known for like her rom-coms and stuff. Like she knows what she's doing when it comes to rom-coms.
Oh, okay.
That's like her thing. So like she's a big ticket when it comes to that.
130.
And I'm like, man, that's a lot of money. But I mean, at the same time, there is such thing as like rom-coms that have action in them. I don't know if you've seen like, the one with Tom Cruise and what's her name? Cameron Diaz. What's that movie called? I forgot. Night and Day. That's a rom-com. Yeah, with action. Like there's a bunch of like movies like that. Maybe that was kind of like a movie that she was gonna probably do. I don't know, but 130 million to me sounds like nothing when it comes to Netflix, because Netflix greenlights shit all the damn day. So I don't know. Warner Brothers might be coming up. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe if they can scrape under their sofas and find whatever money they got. Yeah.
Yeah. Oops, sorry, but yeah. So we'll see. Warner Brothers, like I said, it have a track record to be kind of broke. So I'm not too sure about this one, but Nancy Myers is a director that people want under their belt. So if they can, and Warner Brothers have been losing directors. They lost Christopher Nolan. Obviously, Zack Snyder's not going to be going back anytime soon, supposedly. Apparently, there's rumors going around, but who knows? A lot of directors are jumping ship because of everything that's happening at Warner Brothers. They've just been this drama thing. So I don't know if all this drama that just happened with all these articles beforehand is going to deter her from wanting to go over there, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Maybe, yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on to the other side of the aisle, though, to Marvel Studios. Now, we heard that not only is Kevin Feige mad, he's loading the clips, bro. He's loading the clips because he went after Reddit themselves to go ahead and try to reveal the name of the individual or individuals who leaked out the Quantumanium script in its entirety.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So there's been a Reddit page called Marvel Studio Spoilers that basically, and I was on there for a little bit too, so I basically come out and say what Marvel's doing. They predicted a lot of things that were going to happen in Shang-Chi. They predicted a lot of things that were going to happen, I believe, in Black Widow. They're still pumping out leaks. There's a lot of leaks out there. You know what I mean? All these rumors that we hear, it's all because of leaks within Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
It's this big juggernaut to the point where they're not going to be able to keep everybody in line. And, scoopers make money. You know what I mean? They make good money because they help with the views.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, scoopers. So Marvel seems to be closing in on them. All right. Reddit basically denied them the first couple of times. And so to give the names up. And so Marvel went to the court system and decided to get a subpoena. Snitching, Marvel, snitching. So it sounds like they're getting closer. They're trying to find litigation. They're trying to get litigation, probably get compensation, whatever. I'm just saying that I'd be shaking in my boots if I was one of the Reddit users, because having to owe Marvel money just sounds like a bad spot to be. And I'm telling you right now, they're not going after a couple $1,000s. No, they're going to get you for millions. They'll say, like, people didn't go watch Quantumanium because you leaked the script out or some shit. Like, because Quantumanium, I think, is going to probably top out at 500 mil. Something 500 and some change. So they're missing out on money altogether. Now, is it a bad thing? It is a bad thing, I think, because obviously, like I said, if you have internal leaks, that's bad for business. You know what I mean? If they're giving away big spoilers on the internet, is bad for business. Bad for our business if they keep it away.
The movie's bad, Kevin. Damn. You don't have to sue people for it. Like, take your L and move forward, dog. I know it's hard, and I know you can't fully reboot. This isn't DC, but you gotta. You can't be doing this. This sounds stupid. How do you tell this to your superiors? Don't worry, guys. We're gonna get what we want back from Quantumania. I just gotta knock a few heads open first. Like,
yeah,
that just sounds ridiculous, dude. Kevin, get it together.
You guys sit down, Kevin. Oh man, I don't know, dude. Like I said, I get his POV, but yeah, it could be them just being like, hey, we got to find a way to recoup some losses over this shit, and if we can blame certain people. But Reddit is committed to keeping everybody's, name anonymous. That's part of their thing. That's why they're on Reddit. They're not on, Twitter or anything like that where they can get found. Yeah, they're playing it smart. But Fahi, he's on that shit, bro. Fahi's on it. He's
just like, gimme. And it's so fucking stupid, dude. How you gonna really, bro? If you have leaks, look at your people. Look at your own people. Aim the gun at them. Be like, hey, which one of y'all dropping leaks?
I'm sure he's trying to. I'm pretty sure that every single one of them employees is getting waterboarded as we speak.
Maybe, yeah. But
did you leak the script?
You tell me. You can tell me this ends right now. Show me your phone. You got Reddit on your phone.
Damn. The mouse walks in.
You have Reddit, Jimmy? He's just, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense. And this sounds dumb, dude. Like it gives me a migraine thinking about it. This is some real petty shit. You lost
really
me out on $1 million, buddy. Give me that.
You gonna pay up, bruh.
Like, that's so dumb, dude. Really?
No. I'm just saying.
A whole subreddit gone because Kevin wants to be a bitch about it.
Like I said, I just don't want to be the person who owes Marvel Studios money. That's just my thing. Okay. And I wonder if they can get jail time for this. Imagine you're in a cell. What'd they get you for? I leaked the script.
I leaked Quantumania.
They're gonna laugh. That movie was ass.
That was you, man. I didn't see that shit because I read the whole thing. No, like no. Dude.
Thank you, Jesus.
God, dude, if you just put out a better movie, that's it. I'm sure the leaks will still happen. Leaks are, everyone knows a dollar bill will talk. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
if you have leaks, look at your people. Look at your own people.
Yeah, that sounds. I don't know. That sounds out of my pay grade. We'll see if they find them. Reddit's out here holding it down, saying you ain't gonna crack us. We ain't squilling on nobody, bro.
That's what I'm saying too. Because not only are you anonymous, but I'm sure the guidelines say as long as you're not like
inciting violence, anything like that,
like shit like that, like you can't give away anything. You know what I mean? Because now that person is probably just like, okay, I'll let it die out, but when the next Marvel movie comes through, I'm posting that bitch too. So like,
he's like, I got the Captain America 4 script waiting to be dropped. A fucking loaded clip. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. That one's actually a big one for Marvel Studios. I hope they're not just trying to recoup losses for that movie. If that comes out in an article, I'm gonna just be like, bro, you guys make too much damn money to be going after a singular person.
Yeah, no.
Like it is what it is. But Quantumanium did set up something, as bad of a movie that it was, did wind up setting up something, and it might pay off in Moon Knight season 2. Now, Fahi came out basically saying that they are halting production on a lot of stuff. They're going to be taking a lot more time to flesh it out, right? CGI, blah, 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 blah. So hopefully we're going to get really good products out of this, that, you know, of what he's speaking of. Now, rumor has it, and this comes from a leak as well, and it's something that's going around and seems seemingly to have been confirmed. But we might get Kang the Conqueror in Moon Knight season 2 playing Roma Tut. And I'm just thinking in my head, is Majors just going to be everybody's villain now? Like, is there going to be just a Kang for everybody, and they're just going to knock down the littler Kangs and basically go for the big bad Kang at the very end?
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. And I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's more of just like a very weird one. Like, yeah, now it just means Jonathan Majors has job security.
He better go talk to James McAvoy. That boy did Split. He got 30 different personalities in one person.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. That sounds ridiculous. Putting him up against street level threats sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, it's too kind of small, right? I mean, Moon Knight does have mystic powers, though, doesn't he? Technically,
no.
My guy was able to make the whole sky move in a TV show.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess the MCU version does. The comics version doesn't really.
Oh,
like homie doesn't fly. You know what I mean? What do you call it? But I mean, I guess because the MCU will like spin it a certain way. But I mean, that shit sounds redundant.
Oh well, I don't know. I mean, like I said, it sounds cool if Jonathan Majors can give a different performance every single time, and not make every single one like. That's the thing. Like, they cannot have every single Kang get beaten. You know what I mean? Like, they would have to show some kind of force. Like, he needs to kill somebody. You know what I mean? I thought they were going to do that in Quantumanium. I thought we were going to see, like, him kill Hank. Kill Hank or something like that. I thought he was going to kill somebody. Make it a reason to, to be afraid of him. But he just... We'll have to wait and see. Like I said, it sounds exciting if Fahi is literally going to take the time, actually package it right, make sure that it's going to, be a great product. And if it comes out being a better product than season 1, because I wasn't a big fan of Moon Knight either, then if season 2 is the thing that puts me on, I'll be okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, nothing much to say about it anymore, because, I mean... everything else has been said, but jeez, dude.
Well, another person who might be coming back, Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus. Now, he's saying that he can't neither confirm nor deny whether he's going to be coming back. After his appearance in No Way Home, everybody was basically saying, it's the multiverse. People might be coming back. Who knows? It's just, who knows? So an interview at Radio Times asked him if he'll be reprising his role after, No Way Home successes. And he basically says, I can neither confirm nor deny. That's the official line. I got into a bit of trouble over the last iteration because I happened to let the cat out of the bag quite incidentally. Which is true, because... the reason why they put him in the first trailer was because he let it slip in an interview. He pulled a Tom Holland. Mm-hmm. Whoopsies. He I'm pretty sure it wasn't so tight-lipped back in the day, so he probably didn't care. But not confirming nor denying, so it sounds like there is a potential chance that we might see him maybe in Secret Wars, Kang's Dynasty, maybe. I just don't want to see him de-aged again. Make him an older, more Make him a Doc Ock that was from Spider-Man 2 that survived the events and maybe killed Spider-Man. That'd be crazy.
I don't know. Anything sounds pretty crazy. It's just, the concept is just ridiculous. I think.
Why?
What do you
Oh
mean?
wait, like the whole Secret Wars stuff.
Well, no. I mean, like bringing them back in general.
Oh, are you not liking the whole multiverse aspect? I think that's what a lot of people have problems with the MCU as of right now.
No, not the multiverse stuff. I like the multiverse stuff. I'm talking about like these characters that were basically the whole Spider-Man's rogues.
Mm.
So like, where was he? You know what I mean? Where's his universe?
Where's the MCU's universe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's he in the MCU universe? Where's
You just want to see a totally different take.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Fucking, like we got Vulture and we got Shocker, and there's supposed to be a Scorpion running around. Where's everybody else?
A Mysterio.
There was a Mysterio.
Mm.
And then, for Secret Wars, well, I don't know how do we. I mean, I'm sure we could just cameo him, but I don't know how else we'd see him for real.
I would think maybe in Secret Wars, like in a cameo shape sort of form, and that's the only reason why I see him coming back. I don't think he'll be in the MCU as Peter's definitive Doc Ock to fight. I don't think so. I would hope they give us a different iteration, but this is another have to wait and see. He did keep his mouth sealed this time. He said, "I learned my lesson. You're not gonna get me this time. Not this time." Somebody who needed to speak up about certain things is Dave Filoni, because he feared that apparently people were gonna think there was a romantic thing between Anakin and Ahsoka. So, for those that don't know, Star Wars has a show called The Clone Wars. If you haven't heard about it, go pick it up. It's a great watch. It's basically Anakin bringing the events between Attack of the Clones. I think we talked about this in a different podcast. If you guys haven't heard, it takes place between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. It's supposed to be that 3-year time period between of the basically the Clone Wars, Republic versus the Separatists. Anakin winds up getting a Padawan in this show called Ahsoka. Now, in the beginning, he said that he had to make it clear to let people know that it wasn't anything. It was just platonic. Now, it's a long kind of thing. I just kind of wanted to say that, highlight that Dave Filoni did say that it was a brother and sister relationship. When this is okay, it's gonna kind of trip you out, so just give me a second. Basically said that it's gonna be platonic brother sister relationship, and even indulged in a question saying that could maybe Plo Koon and Ahsoka had something. That's a totally different thing. Let's start with the first one. Anakin and Ahsoka never had that dynamic, in my opinion, but it's good that they try to make it a point to kind of like show that within the show, because he already had Padme in the series and in the movies, so it's good in my opinion that they enhanced it for people so people wouldn't get super confused about it. I think in season 7 people were bringing it back up again because of the way he like looked at her in the beginning or whatever when she first came back, but they made it a point to be like, no, like even in Rebels he made it a point to be like it wasn't a love kind of thing. It was like she's looking at her brother that passed away. You know what I mean? Like it's heartbreaking and it's crazy. I don't think they needed to ever be shipped, and I don't know if anybody was actually rooting for that, but I don't know. What do you think?
No, nope. That sounds terrible. I don't like I don't like this concept at all. Why would you think that? What, she was 14 or so when he met her, and he was already like 18, close to 20 something.
I'm just saying that sounds like a FBI open up.
Like, yeah, no. If you think shipping them is cool, I mean, you're kind of a weirdo, but that shit is disgusting.
Yeah.
And then to say Plo Koon and her, bro, Plo Koon is like supposed to be like her father type shit. You know what I mean? Old enough to be her dad, and like, ugh. Come on.
He did make it clear and said that it sounded like he indulged in it, but he said, I'd love someday for them to do an animated story of that. I love to, I love Ashley and I to get to play those parts, like basically between Plo Koon, which they kind of touched upon when that little series came about. You know what I mean? They kind of showed her growing up or whatever, like him picking her up at the very end. So might touch up on it maybe if they continue that little story, which I really love those little stories with Count Dooku. I forgot what it was called. Tales of Jedi, yeah. So I don't know. It'd be weird for Plo Koon too. That'd be weird.
It's just weird in general, bro.
Yeah. I think Anakin's brother, and I think Plo Koon's like dad.
Yeah, and like that's just weird. And like, come on, how are you as a fan gonna get that misconstrued? In what way, shape, or form were they ever that close? Besides siblings, you know what I mean? She called him Sky Guy. He called her.
I hated that.
Snips, and then like every time she was away, it was her using his lessons not to survive. Not, oh, she's thinking about Anakin or this and that. No, she's trying to fucking survive on this planet. You know what I mean? The last thing she needs to think about is her master and all those other bullshit feelings. That shit doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, that's weird. I think they most definitely showed that it was him and Padme. I don't know. I just thought it was weird. I was just like, look, man, don't ship these people ever.
No,
ever. Don't. If you guys are first watching it, don't ever think that either. Weirdo. That's weirdo stuff.
For sure.
Yeah. And moving on to our last topic, Quentin Tarantino's final film as a filmmaker coming in. Now, he basically said a long time ago he was either going to make 10 movies or retire before the age of 60. So he basically made a timeline for himself. Now, as of right now, he sits at 9 films. He had 9 films if you count Kill Bill 1 and 2 as one, which that's what he counts it as. So, he basically is saying the Movie Critic is the last one he's going to be making. Now, he comes from, like I said, a bunch of movies. Pulp Fiction, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Come on. He is a master craftsman at movies. He said he wrote the script. He's going to be looking into who's going to be playing it in it pretty soon. He said apparently some insiders are saying that it's going to take place in 1970s Los Angeles with a female lead at its center. Not much more coming out of it, but hearing that this man, and he's one of the ones that don't really like the whole superhero wave and all that stuff. So that's another thing too. He's probably wanting to make his exit now with his 10th film, go out on top, because you can't say any of them are bad movies.
Yeah,
so.
no, I mean it depends on who you ask, and if you consider their opinion valuable. But 10 films, that's nice. That's a nice number, actually. Good for him.
Yeah, like 10, The Hateful Eight, The Django, Death Proof, Planet Terror, Inglourious Bastards, Reservoir Dogs. That 10, 9 movies. That's cool. That I lost track because I don't really before I never really focused on that. When he said 10 movies, I was like, directors go through 10 movies like nothing. I assumed that I never actually took notice that he actually paced his movies and just did one movie. He didn't really do any side projects like superhero movies, or he just made the movies that he wanted to make.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think that's cool that he stayed genuine to himself up until this very last movie that he's going to be putting out. Stay genuine, didn't sell out, put out the movies he wanted. Every single one was a hit because he is a master class at this filmmaking thing. This is somebody to look up to. Maybe some of his comments are kind of missed and can be chalked up to something different. Yeah. But for the most part, Quentin Tarantino is that guy. What do you think about this?
It makes sense. 10 movies. I think he did say that. Yeah, this was the perfect number for him to stop at, which is fine. But I highly doubt he'll stay retired.
You think so?
Yeah, he'll probably end up producing, which is as much as like a director can get to the chair before getting in the chair.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's retiring for sure.
No, you don't think 100%?
No.
You think he'll still dabble a little bit?
Yes.
Probably. I'm sure a lot of people probably come up to him and basically, want him to come back for whatever reason. When the money's big, it's big. But if he stayed genuine throughout his whole career, I highly doubt it'll be a lot of projects. It'll probably be with like close people he loves working with to do it. I don't ever think he'll be a producer on like a Marvel film or DC or some no name film on Netflix or something. You know what I mean? Like it would have to be big time. Him really wanting to come in and do that.
Yeah, for sure. I guess that makes more sense too. Just depends.
Yeah, it sounds cool though. The movie critic, female lead. It's not the first time he's done it. Kill Bill's an excellent example.
Yeah.
He's one of the best in the business to do it. How old is he anyways? Because he said 10 films or before the age of 60.
He looks like he's 70 something.
Nah. There's no way. Because then... Oh, he's 59. So he's gonna hit 60 already. Oh yeah, he's right on time.
He's done, yeah.
Yeah, he's right on time.
Coming out.
Yeah, he already. Damn, it's like he planned it pretty well. So by the time if he films it and everything, by the time it comes out, he'll be like 61. So he'll just be sitting down watching it.
Yeah. Good for him. Good for Tarantino. Hopefully that means he can now sit back and live fat off his money and stop critiquing Marvel movies.
He's just gonna be like another Marvel movie. That's why he left.
Hollywood he's gonna be like, this movie's ass. Hollywood needs me. And like comes out of retirement.
I don't know. But a lot of the older filmmakers were the ones, in my opinion, who saved cinema. So James Cameron, Scott McQuarrie, not Scott McQuarrie.
I was like, what the fuck?
What's his name? McQuarrie. Yeah, I think it's Scott McQuarrie. He, the Mission Impossible director, the person who directed Maverick, fucking phenomenal movie. I don't know. I think cinema needs these old heads to keep people in line once in a while.
They do, but like you gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And
that's true.
Right now he's trying to fold them.
Yeah, and we got a lot of greats coming up too. So gotta make some room. And
like we still have old people in here. We have James Cameron.
Yeah.
Spielberg
but we're not getting anything besides Avatar movies from him in the upcoming
He's a busy
years.
man, right?
Yeah. We're not getting anything but Avatar movies from him.
He's a busy
from here
man.
to the point where he retires.
He's a busy man. But yeah, good for Tarantino.
Very good. Very nice. We'll have to wait to see the last film in his filmography. With that's gonna be the end of this episode. If there's any topics on here that you felt like we should have discussed, anything that we probably missed, anything that you guys felt, god damn, god,
holy shit,
yeah, oh whoa,
god damn, all right,
just tell them where to go, bro. Just tell them. I gotta mess with my outro.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FilmBros Podcast. Oh my god, I'm sorry, the water went down the wrong pipe. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. We post when new episodes are out. Go follow us there at FilmBros Podcast. If you want to listen to us while on the go, Spotify and Apple Podcasts at FilmBros Podcast. Support us in a big way. Zippy Stream at FilmBros Podcast. I'm tearing up. It takes name and email. You get our full catalog. Episodes 0 all the way coming up on 80.
Come on, dog. You're almost there.
And subscribe to our YouTube at FilmBros Podcast.
Yeah. Follow.
Sorry.
Are you just gonna keep going when I talk?
I'm sorry.
Like, follow, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Like I keep on reminding y'all, we will be putting out YouTube videos. We will be getting there. We'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.